What is up, guys? Modern Bodybuilder here with the second installment of our bodybuilding history videos. In this video, we will be talking about the man who arguably is the most aesthetic bodybuilder in history and set the standard for what the classic look is. This man is none other than Frank Zane. Zane is most notably a three-time Mr Olympia, winning from 1977 to 1979 and being one of the only three bodybuilders to ever defeat Arnold Schwarzenegger on a bodybuilding stage. Arnold would later recount his experience by saying he could not believe that he lost to a chicken with 17-inch arms. Although not being the biggest competitor on stage at a stage weight ranging from 180 to 190 pounds, Frank Zane would often look much bigger than he actually was due to his insane proportions and conditioning. Frank Zane would begin his reign at the end of the Arnold era, which represented a paradigm shift, where the judges started looking more at the lines and aesthetics, rewarding the much smaller yet more beautiful physique of Zane compared to the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not saying Arnold wasn't aesthetic, but he had a completely different look to that of Zane, who would weigh almost 60 pounds lighter than Arnold on stage. Arnold dominated the early 70s, with Zane consistently placing behind him, and when he essentially stepped away from bodybuilding in 1975, only then would these smaller bodybuilders get a chance to be recognized, with Franco Columbu winning in 1976, followed by Zane in 1977. So, focusing more on Frank Zane here, other than being a three-time Mr. Olympia, he would also win the Mr. America in 1968, the Mr. World competition in 1969, and of course the legendary NABA Mr. Universe in 1970 and 1972. The NABA Mr. Universe in the 1960s and 1970s was just as big, if not bigger, than the Mr. Olympia in that time period, so winning the NABA Mr. Universe was quite the feather in your hat if you ever won it. And Frank Zane would be one of these champions. 1968 also was the time he would defeat Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Mr. Universe, which was a different Mr. Universe to the NABA Mr. Universe. This would put him above Arnold at that time, and as I said, would make him one of the only three bodybuilders in history to ever defeat Arnold on a bodybuilding stage. These bodybuilders are namely Sergio Oliva, Chet Yorton, and of course, Frank Zane. Frank Zane would suffer a life-threatening injury before the 1980 Mr. Olympia, which caused him to come in significantly downsized and less sharp. An interesting story coming from Frank Zane himself, he actually came and posed for Arnold right before the Olympia and asked Arnold if Arnold thought that Frank should compete considering his loss in size. Arnold would of course tell Frank that he should still compete, which ended up being another one of Arnold's mind games, because as history would tell us, Arnold would make a surprise comeback at the 1980 Mr. Olympia and dethrone Frank Zane, who would drop all the way to third place. Understandably, Zane would be so disappointed and angry at this result that according to some stories, he actually threw his trophy against the wall backstage and boycotted the following year's Mr. Olympia. A few more interesting facts about Frank Zane would be how impressive he actually was outside the bodybuilding world. He was in fact a master archer and would actually teach archery at some universities. There are many photos of him and Arnold shooting arrows, which is very interesting. He was also a very intellectual and very educated person, having 2 bachelorate degrees and a master's degree. He had a Bachelor of Science in Education, a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, and a Master of Arts in Psychology also. He also has a lifetime teaching credentials in California, so he is an educator and actually worked as a teacher during his bodybuilding career. He is also an Eagle Scout with over 50 merit badges, including the Order of the Arrow, which is the highest archery honor in the Eagle Scouts. So he's been a teacher, an archer, a master of the sport of bodybuilding. He was also a songwriter. He's a very well-published author. He's a member of the IFBB Hall of Fame. He was awarded the Arnold Schwarzenegger Lifetime Achievement Award, and Frank Zane is still alive today at the age of 82. In terms of bodybuilding stats, he was around 5'9". His contest weight was anywhere from 180 to 190 pounds, and his off-season weight was around 200 pounds, maybe more or less, give or take. His nickname was the Chemist. His most famous pose would be that of the vacuum pose, which would be a staple in the classic physique division of today. Some people loved Frank Zane's physique, and some people hated, preferring the much larger physiques. But in my opinion, Frank Zane was the greatest in terms of aesthetics and is probably the most aesthetic Mr. Olympia in history, and would win all his Olympias at under 200 pounds. That is how good of a bodybuilder he was, and that is how powerful his lines were, that he didn't need all that mass in order to be dominant. Do you have any other interesting facts or stories about Frank Zane? Please feel free to share them in the comment section down below. Who would you like me to cover next? Please also tell me in the comment section down below. And of course, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. This has been the Modern Bodybuilder. Thank you for watching.